Hello, my name's Garrett Dickerson, and during the quarantine, one of the things I'm trying to do is learn how to cook. So I went online and found a recipe for guacamole, and I'm gonna try and make that this time. Just for the sake of the video, I've already gone ahead and washed everything off already. So I did that beforehand, because you should always do that. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and chop up the avocados real quick. And then throw them in the bowl with everything else. Okay. So, yeah, I don't really cook too often, but I'm trying to learn. Right now, the recipe calls for multiple different things. Like I said, right now I'm just chopping up the avocados, but as a general overview of like everything I'm using, this recipe has me using some avocados, lime juice, salt, cumin, cayenne, onions, and then jalapenos are kind of optional. I usually throw them in there because I like things a little bit more hot and spicy. But then you also got some tomato, cilantro, and some minced garlic. Right now I'm just kind of scooping out the avocados and putting them into the bowl. So I'm gonna mash this up just a little bit so it's easier to mix in when I start putting the other ingredients in. So now I'm going to start cutting up some of the ingredients. So the main things I'm going to chop up right now is like the avocado, so it's ready for when I need it, or the tomato. I've got the tomato chopped up pretty well, and while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and chop up the onion and the cilantro. Just make it quick and easy for when I'm ready to mix everything in. So I made this one. I tried to make this one time before, and I quickly found out that the amount it calls for how much I'm trying to make is a little too much. So I reduced the amount of tomato and onions a little bit to make it just overall the way I like it a little bit more. So there's that, and then here's some of the cilantro. So I've got everything cut up pretty well now, so I might have to come back and cut up this a little bit more. But, So now I'm going to start adding in everything else. It's kind of like the main part of it. So I'm going to start off, I've already put the lime juice in. I started out with that kind of in the bowl, just because I had to pre-measure that. But now I'm going to put in a little bit of salt. I put in about a half teaspoon of salt. And then I put in about a half tablespoon of cumin. Half tablespoon of cayenne pepper. And then after that, I'm gonna put in just a little bit of minced garlic. So before I put in like the rest of the things that I just chopped up, I'm gonna try and mix this up just a little bit so that everything's kind of like mixed in beforehand. And when I make this, you have kind of two options. You can really mash it up using like a masher. I kind of like mine a little bit more clumpy, so that's how I'm going to be making it. I'm going to leave it a little bit more clumpy than some people would. So now I've got it mashed up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in the cilantro, the tomatoes, and the onions. So the last thing I'm really gonna do is just try and mix up well. I'm just gonna take this and just kind of not really like push it down into it, but just kind of take the avocados and just kind of like roll it over and just kind of like roll it into each other. So that way it mixes up pretty well without really like squashing it and mashing it up more than I really want it to. That's about it for the recipe. Aside from that, the only thing I really do afterwards is I'm done making this, I will take some saran wrap and I will put it over on top of it, like, kind of like pack it down on it, just to help make sure there's not much air in it. And then after that, I will put it in the fridge or just kind of leave it sitting out for about 20-30 minutes. And then that's about it. So I'm done.